Hey everybody, welcome back to Pokemon Rumble. Today we're taking on the Fiery Furnace. And I've noticed that these levels are so long with how much the Pokemon have hit points that it works out with my 15-minute limit that each day will be a different level. So no two levels in one episode, unfortunately. It will just be the Fiery Furnace. But hey, this LP is about discussion. And I can announce to you guys that more discussion is going to occur. That's right, because upon recording to post-commentate, not intending to do that, of course, but just that working out that way with not having my audio recorded originally, I found out that there is another mode to this game. Not basic, not advanced, but EX. Yeah, as in the EX TCG cards. Those super powerful ones that were always hyper holographic and had special powers on them. I guess that's what it's supposed to symbolize, but that's what I think of anyway. And, I have a feeling they did that somewhat on purpose because it is within their own franchise, the Pokemon series. However, I don't know if they make EX Pokemon cards anymore. That does confuse me. I'm not sure. When it comes to Pokemon cards, I just want to see the art. I like the collection aspect of it, but I'm not a collectaholic. I was never an achievement whore, but I do enjoy the artwork, and I find it very pleasurable when I get a rare card or super holographic one in a pack of, for example, my 3 new packs of Black and White. I had never bought Pokemon cards until, or previously, I only bought Pokemon cards up until the Ruby and Sapphire series. I think even Emerald I stuck around too, because Deoxys was there. But when it came to Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, I jumped the boat. It was way too expensive. I mean, I forget how much packs were costing, but I mean, it was like a cigarette addiction. I mean, for real, with taking money daily, because you have to get another pack a day, just to support your addiction to seeing shiny things. Thanks, but no thanks. I rather just look at the cards online. That's why I cannot wait, and I really hope, I talked about this in one of my Pokemon Black walkthroughs, that the Pokemon Company's planning something big for DS and 3DS. It's good to hear that they're on the DS front, and when they say they're supporting it, I have a sneaking suspicion that they mean that Pokemon Gray will be released on the DS. Because in all their history, they've never had a game that's gone out to the 3rd iteration in a region without it being native to the console that it was originally made on. So you're not going to have red, blue, and then yellow on Game Boy Advance. It just didn't work out that way. That's at least not their strategy that I've witnessed. But one of those things I hope is coming is a Pokemon TCG game. I have no evidence supporting this, other than the simulations, the card simulations that they have been running. I've seen it on Cerebi. It's kind of a tutorial online. Trying to think how you say it, because it's not really a full game, and I don't know how to get into it myself. I'm not sure if you have to be a part of a championship or what. I don't even think you have to do that. Pretty sure you might just be able to go to the Pokemon main site and play the TCG game. But it's there geared towards teaching players how to use basic cards and Poke abilities and things that have changed over the years in my absence of playing the game. So I'm thinking maybe they're using that as just kind of a teaser platform, like, look, we've been working on this, so here is a tutorial on how to play the game. This way, when it comes out for the 3DS, hopefully the 3DS, not DS, this way we could have some augmented reality features working in tandem with cards. Then, you'll be all set to play our game. Separately, at CES, which is the Consumer Electronics... Is that the CES? What does the S stand for? I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's slipping my mind right now. It's a boiling 115 degrees, and I'm surprised I'm recording. But I realized that, if I just let every stupid weather elemental bullshit stop me from recording, I'm never going to get anything done. I don't live in a climate-controlled house, but still, I want to produce content. So, heat or no heat, I will make sure you're not beat on content. Besides, I'd much rather be warm than cold. That's proven because I went on hiatus during the winter when I had no heat, and the summer's just fine to make plenty of content. Especially when I'm just watching it, you know, it's not too physically engaging, I suppose you could say. But, so that's my theory. I'm hoping that a new Pokemon TCG card game comes out. I think it's been plenty of years. I don't know when the original came out because I wasn't one of those who got it when it came out. I didn't even know about it at the time. It was more or less a game that I happened upon in GameStop one time in their used games rack, that glass case with all the old Game Boy cartridges and Game Boy Advance cartridges. I saw that and was like, holy crap, there's a Pokemon trading card game? No freaking way. And I got it. It was like $5. So that's how I found out about it. So I'm not sure what the time frame was, but it's been a long time, I can tell you that. Since Game Boy Color? I guess that was Game Boy Color. I don't know if it was Game Boy Color or just Game Boy Original with recolored sprites for Game Boy Color, or if it was just made for Game Boy Color. Because the color palette that was used wasn't anything impressive, so if it was programmed for the Game Boy Color, I'm not impressed. Only because I saw what Crystal did with the Game Boy Color's palette choice, and it did so much more. It definitely could have got a lot more in depth with the card designs and details and colors. If that was the case, I don't know. But we've got so many cards to choose from. So many! And there's still more cards being produced today. I don't know if I would... Yeah, actually, I think I would. I was going to say, I don't know if I would necessarily pay real money for virtual cards, but I almost think I would. Truthfully, I wouldn't. I'll tell you what, I won't, because I'm fiscally tight with my funds, and I'm not going to waste it on some digital good that overall doesn't affect the main gameplay too much. It's not like DLC, where it's trying to tell you a different story. It's just an upgrade. I'm not too big on buying upgrades for digital characters or anything like that. I just never... Because I know eventually I'm going to stop playing the game, or there's going to be a time where it's just not going to be utilized, and I'll feel foolish and have to need those funds to feed myself later, and then I'll be like, oh great, I had to buy a stupid hat for my 360 avatar. Whoa. Do you see that? Those Magnazones just materialized out of nowhere simultaneously. It was crazy. I love Magnazone. I'm trying to think of what he reminds me of. He seems very familiar to me. I don't know what, though. Yeah, so I don't know. I definitely wouldn't pay for cards, but since there are always new Pokemon TCG cards being made, because, let's be honest, there's always new Pokemon being discovered. That's how how Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have set this thing up to be. Then you could just release cards over Wi-Fi, either for free or make it a download service for some money. Buy extra packs of cards, maybe buy decks, I don't know. The reason I see it to be actually reasonable to charge money for an online product is that the digital good of the Pokemon card would be more valuable, at least to me, than a hard copy of it that's been printed out on cardboard. Because I have nobody in the vicinity other than my brother to play with Pokemon cards, and quite frankly, I want to take on some really great strategical Poke players who have invested a lot of time into it. Not just my brother, who, yes, it's fun to play with, but on the side, I'm more or less helping him trying to beat me, so it's not the best. But it would definitely be worthwhile, because all I do with the cards I get for real, in real life, is just put them into binders. I never travel around to card championships. I don't have a car, first of all. That's one of the big things to mention. And I've talked about it lightly in past episodes, but I don't want a car because I don't want to get trapped into a debt stranglehold and prevent myself from traveling to Canada even quicker than I could had I not had a debt in America. I'm trying to leave this country. That's my big goal. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. So I don't want to get a car. I have really no motivation to get one. Not looking to pay some auto insurance. Not looking to pay bullshit gas prices, all the while beating down the environment more. When I get a car, truthfully, it's going to be something that's self-powered. It's going to be solar-powered, and it's going to have solar panels on the roof. I'm going to figure it out because I'm going into environmental science. That's what I want to master in. And I hope to be on the ground floor of those new technologies. So I don't go to all those trading card games in various states in the Midwest. I don't know why that was, but whenever I used to look into it, it always seemed like all the contests were happening out in the middle of the country. Nothing on the East Coast. Maybe occasionally you get something that happens in New York, but it was rare. A rare occurrence, and I don't know why. Maybe that demographic, for some reason, had more interaction with card play? I'm not sure. I couldn't see why that would be. But if I downloaded them as opposed to getting them for real, and I downloaded them on the 3DS, well, first of all, the card itself would look pretty damn good because, okay, the 3DS does not have HD graphics, sure. And some people complain that it makes it a little difficult, and I will admit I do see this, it makes it a little difficult sometimes to tell that something's in 3D because the screen picture quality is so poor that it's almost an illusion that maybe it's not 3D, maybe it's just 3D rendering that I'm seeing, and the depth that I perceive was already there whether I had the slider on or not. Sometimes I get that impression. Yeah, I see that. But even considering that, doing something as simple as a Pokemon card, the graphics could look awesome. They could definitely program in some kind of holographic shing-shing effect. They could do something like that. And if it's in 3D, the card's popping out at you anyway. I think it should remain a card. I don't think that it should just appear out as a Pokemon. But if you want to go to an extra length of programming, I don't know if they would, but you know, just add depth to the card. Make it look like there's an environment within the environment that you're viewing it in, and you'd be good to go. So the aesthetics of the card would be worth the while. Then you have all this new play power that you didn't have before because it would connect you to thousands and thousands of other PokePals online through Wi-Fi. So let me know what you think below.